Hey everyone, welcome to my supermarket tour. My name is Sasha, and today I will be looking at Sobeys. Sobeys is owned by the Empire Company, who are mostly engaged in food retail, and Sobeys is also the second largest food retailer in Canada. Sobeys also has a few subsidiaries, some being Freshco and Foodland, and there's also over 260 Sobeys supermarkets operating across Canada. For this tour, I chose to investigate aisle number 1 from the supermarket tour guide. I chose this aisle because I found it interesting on how they explain that supermarkets design and present their products a certain way to manipulate customers to spend money. And throughout my presentation, I will explain my experience of this. I attended the Sobeys that is near my house because it's a convenient location for me, and it's also a 24-hour grocery store, which is why I usually prefer this Sobeys over other grocery stores because I can depend on it any time of the day. Another reason why I pick Sobeys over other supermarkets is because of their luring techniques. So for example, they accept air miles, which I am also a collector of, so it attracts me to shop here rather than other grocery stores because I know that I can use my air miles card here. Another luring technique that Sobeys uses is called one-stop shopping. They have the wine rack, which can be convenient for customers because they can pick up wine here at Sobeys while doing their other grocery shopping, rather than having to stop at an LCBO after. The wine rack is also at the very front of the store and is visible to each customer when they walk in. This would be considered a specialty item as stated in the supermarket guide and can encourage impulse buying as it can remind customers that they need to pick up wine. At this Sobeys, they also have a pharmacy area where you can get your prescriptions while doing your grocery shopping, rather than having to stop at another pharmacy after. I think this is a strategic luring technique that Sobeys uses because it means customers can get things done all in one place, which makes it more convenient for them to shop here. Overall, I agree with the information that is presented in the guide. For example, starting with the shopping carts, they are very large and allows you to put more and more items in it. According to the supermarket guide, this creates the illusion that using this cart for only a few items would be a waste. So having a large cart would encourage consumers to try and fill it by purchasing more and more items and ultimately spending more money on their shopping trip. As soon as you walk into Sobeys, the produce section is the first section that you see on your left. According to the guide, this is because supermarkets want fruits and vegetables to move faster because they are perishable items, which is why they are usually the first thing you see because consumers typically buy more at the beginning of their shopping trip, allowing produce items to have higher sales and move a lot quicker. Like most supermarkets, Sobeys has one entrance and manipulates your shopping experience so that you'll spend more money. Sobeys is set up in a way that makes you walk through the entire store to pick up essential items like bread, milk, or eggs. Relating to my own purchasing habits, I always end up impulse buying baked goods like cookies or brownies whenever I pick up bread because they are always right next to each other. Their strategy is to make you impulse buy other items that you didn't come in for since you have to pass them just to get to the essential items. By the end of your shopping trip, your cart is full of items that you didn't necessarily come in for, and you always end up spending more money than you intended. Sobeys also uses the boutiquing technique to encourage customers to buy more and spend more money. For example, here you can see that they place the dips, such as salsa, right next to their chips to influence people to buy both of these items together, since people would usually eat dips with their chips. Altogether, this increases impulse buying and the amount of money that people would spend on their shopping trip. The guide also states that end displays encourages impulse buying because people pass by them more often. This end display stood out to me the most because I noticed a sign that said you can win 100,000 air miles by purchasing canned to dry items. This is a luring technique that can encourage Air Miles members to shop at Sobeys and impulse buy these items because of the chance they have of winning free Air Miles. While in the cereal aisle, I noticed that all the adult cereal was together in one section and all the kids' cereal was together in another section of the aisle. Here I noticed that majority of the brands of cereal were from Kellogg's, located mainly throughout the middle shelves, which is the eye level, and eye level is the buy level. I wasn't surprised by this because these companies have to pay a high cost if they want their products located on the best spots of the shelves, also known as slotting fees. Therefore, I wasn't surprised that Kellogg's dominated the shelves with their cereal because they are one of the biggest cereal manufacturers, so they can afford to have their cereal in prime locations such as the eye level spot. Another big cereal manufacturer is General Mills, and you can see that they also have some of their products located at eye level, such as Cheerios and Chex. Again, these companies can afford to have their cereals at eye level, and as the guide states, this only adds to the oligopoly of big corporations since smaller companies can't really afford to pay these high slotting fees, which is why you generally see their products at the very top or bottom where most people don't even look, such as the Sobeys Compliments brand at the bottom of the shelves, or the Life cereal or Honey Bunches of Oats at the top shelf. This allows for bigger manufacturers to continuously take home majority of the cereal profits. I also noticed that many products repeat itself on the shelves. You could see on the left that Vector and Chex are located at eye level and at the bottom. And on the right, cornflakes and Cheerios are also in the middle and bottom areas of the shelf. I think this is to influence customers to pick their product. In case they miss it the first time, they will see it again after while scanning the shelves. And the more a customer sees a product, the more that they might be influenced to buy it. After the adult cereal, we have the kids cereal section, which again was dominated by the Kellogg's brand. This is where most of the sugary cereal was located. I wasn't surprised that the kids cereal had higher sugar contents than the adult cereal because I believe manufacturers use this to attract kids to their product since kids usually like sweeter flavors. I also noticed that the kids cereals were packaged with more brighter colors compared to the adult cereal, especially with the use of more red. I think this is used to influence kids to pick their cereal, especially since red is known as the color of attraction. So kids may be more attracted to cereals packaged in bright red colors. I also noticed that the kids' cereal have many characters on them, such as the Frosted Flakes tiger, the Fruit Loops bird, the Lucky Charms leprechaun, and the Nesquik bunny, compared to the adult cereal which only displayed the cereal on their packaging. I think these characters are used as a marketing strategy to influence kids. For example, kids see these characters in commercials and may like one character more than another. So when they choose their cereal, they may only want the cereal with the Fruit Loops bird or the Frosted Flakes tiger, etc., showing that packaging can have a strong influence on picking which cereal to buy. I also noticed next to the Fruit Loops was a Sobeys brand called Fruity Fruits, which is basically the same thing. I think this is purposely placed next to the Fruit Loops so that they can promote their brand and encourage people to buy it, especially since it was a couple dollars cheaper than the Kellogg's Fruit Loops. According to the supermarket guide, the eye moves from left to right, and stores generally put the more expensive products to the right end of the aisle. Because the eye generally stops at the right, the items placed there usually have an increase in sales, which is why supermarkets would put the more expensive products there. For example, you can see in the video that the price started at $3.79, went up to $3.99, and stopped at $4.99. This can also encourage impulse buying because your eye would be scanning all the items while it's moving from left to right, allowing you to see more variety, and may encourage you to pick up multiple items that may have caught your eye. For my future shopping experience, I've noted 3 alternatives that can be used. The first one is to make a list and stick to it. As noted in the guide, this is the best way to avoid impulse buying because it can help you make sure that you are only buying the items that you came for and avoid impulse buying items that you don't need. The second alternative is to use a basket instead of a cart. Since carts are designed very large and creates the illusion that you need to try and fill your cart, using a basket instead can help you decrease the amount of items you pick up and help you focus on the actual items you need, altogether helping you spend less on your shopping trip. The last alternative is cash only. Bringing only cash to the supermarket can help you only buy the items that you need. For example, give yourself a budget depending on what items you need, and bring enough cash for that budget while leaving your credit and debit cards at home. With this, you can avoid impulse buying because you only have enough money to buy what you need, saving more money at the end of your shopping trip. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my supermarket tour of Sobeys.